I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop.
Okay, going to do a dry run here, see if everything's going to fit. Always best to do that before I get all the wood cut. I think it's going to fit just fine. Yep, it's going to be okay. I'm just going to clamp those pictures in there. I won't need to even put a screw into the frame. I think that's going to work best. Having them just like that. I was going to put a miter in the corner, but I think it's going to be better just to have it squared up because the end grain will be down at the bottom. You won't be able to see it. And that gives me a much better joint right here in the corner. So I'm going to need two more at 29 1/4. I'll have about a foot left over. It's okay. I have two more pieces of this too.
Always buy extra. That way if you make a mistake, you don't have to stop and try and find that piece of wood that somebody's just bought the last piece of. So now I want to set the pictures back out of the way. I know I'm going to need to have two pieces 29 1/4 to match these two. So I'll set up the miter saw up here. I'm going to need two end panels. Then it's just a matter of painting and hanging. Well, I got all those holes to drill. Having the Kreg jigs makes the assembly of this picture frame a doable project, and putting the straight butt joints in the corners rather than having the miters might not look quite as craftsman-like, but it's going to match the expectation and it's going to do a good job of holding it together. "34 inches. Where you run into trouble when you're doing measuring is if you skip back and forth from one measurement device to the next. Not everything is calibrated exactly the same. One of the hardest things that we had in production was making sure that all the tools on the whole assembly line measured the same way. Now when you're working with inches, it doesn't really matter. When you're trying to make something that goes together with thousandths, it's important that you have all the sizes right. To solve the problem here in the home shop, all I have to do is always use the same measurement device. This yardstick's not going to get longer or shorter as the day goes on. If I always use the same measurement stick and use the same marks, I'm not going to have a problem. This has a rough cut on one end and a factory cut on the other, which is not square. So I'm going to do a quick trim on the end of this piece. Miter box is a cool piece of equipment. It lets me cut left-handed and cut a straight line. No way in the world I'd be able to do that freehand. I could always use about 10 more feet in any direction. This is what happens when you rely on a factory edge. I made a mistake. I didn't trim this end. So now I get to cut another piece. Okay, all done with the miter box for a while. At least if I've done it right, I am. Everything looks good. Now it's time for a dry fit. A lot easier to put a new piece in if you haven't already put a lot of work into the old piece. I was able to salvage that one piece that had the factory edge screwed up just because the next piece happened to be a little bit smaller. Sometimes you get lucky. Perfect. Just perfect. Okay, doing a dry fit means that I want to mark them now. This one I'm marking top left because it's going to be on the top left as you look at the picture. I'm putting an arrow on there so I know which way is the top. That one's second row right, and this one is going to be third row right. Now I cut all these exactly the same, and chances are if I put the third row in where the first row is, it's not going to cause a problem. But why take a risk? YouTube has a new feature called end caps. The end caps are a modification of the annotation that only desktop users could see up until now. There's an end cap on this video. Give me an idea what you think, and as always, if you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments below. You know I read them all. And don't forget to click the like and subscribe button.